All right, let's do it. What's up, everyone? My name's AJ Crypto. Super excited to get into the show Wednesday, December 18th. Does not feel like Christmas is like next week, a week from today. 7 days from now is Christmas Day. That doesn't feel real. No, it doesn't. We are going to Philadelphia, Maryland area for Christmas time. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rundown here on all the things. All right, all the things. Rundown time. And then we'll talk about FOMC. We'll talk about some of the trades that we've been talking about in the Telegram group, that phantom short. I actually was leaning towards a phantom short for a little while now. And that alarm that I gave you guys finally went off. Shout out to anybody in the group who nailed that trade. We will talk about that trade. We'll talk about the ETFs, kind of what we touched on yesterday in the Cybertruck video. Oh, by the way, guys, I figured out how to get TradingView to fill up the entire screen, the touchscreen on the Cybertruck. And it's like a touchscreen where you can draw lines and brushes and measurements. And like, I'm still getting the finesse down on it, but it works really well. And I didn't know I could do it. And I figured it out. So I'm super excited about that, especially for what I'm about to tell you. So let's do this little rundown here. First of all, thanks for everybody who's here. I know we're doing the show a little bit later today. Kind of had a late start today. No excuses, just late. Fine with me. About 100 people on YouTube. Thanks all for being here. Make sure you smash the like button. Still getting into the show. Let's get that algorithm rolling. So quick rundown. So we're going to Philadelphia, Maryland area for Christmas time. After New Year's, I will be coming back to Atlanta. And then there's a part of the story I can't tell you yet. I'm shipping something, and then I'm flying to Los Angeles. And in LA, we will be going to the first UFC fight of the year, UFC 311, with the V-Chain team. And the Wolf of Wall Street, Melker, will be there. And the Altcoin Daily boys will be there. Super excited to go to the fight with my friends. That's going to be dope. And then we are going to stay on the West Coast for probably about a month. And we are going to a couple Supercross races. We will be going to Phoenix to hang out with Crypto Face. I'm sure we'll be making some content with like Sonny. He lives in LA. Sonny Lou, founder of VeChain, Altcoin Daily Boys. Wendy lives in LA. I have a lot of friends in LA. Going to be there. And then we're actually driving the Cybertruck to Phoenix. Jada's grandpa lives in Phoenix. Crypto Face lives close to him. I'm not really sure where, but we're going to hang out with Crypto Face for a little while. And then we're kind of going to work our way back in the Cybertruck back across to Atlanta. And so the filming for the Gareth Soloway course is actually going to be early February. There was a kind of a mix-up on the schedule of that. I thought we were going early January. They said, hey, can we do early February? I said, hey, that's fine with me. As long as we can get it out, that's totally cool. That's totally fine with me. So we are going to, hit the West Coast for a little while, make some content, and we will be like kind of doing like a road trip in the Cybertruck. There will be more there's a reason that's happening that I haven't told you yet because it hasn't happened yet. But I'm really excited to go on like a month trip with Jada. You know what I mean? We're going to have a really long time, a really great time. We're going to go to the fights. We're going to hit some Supercross races. We're literally going to Anaheim, the Supercross race in LA after the fight. And then we're going to the Glendale round in Arizona the next weekend, which is great. I mean, I love going to the races. There's nothing I love more. If you guys know me, you actually would know that, I do love crypto. I am passionate about crypto, but this is really all just a means to ride my dirt bike. This is all just to go racing. Okay. And, so we're super excited to go racing, go watch the boys. And, and I'm still going to be making content. Of course, it's going to be like, a traveling road trip of content. And, I'm really excited to go do that. And, it's going to be something different. And, just kind of hitting the road like that for a month, why not kind of thing, just have some fun with it and, meet people, travel around, go to some cities we've never been to before, make some content, I'm super stoked to do that. Why not? You know what I mean? And, it's going to be a great way to start the year, just a little bit something different. Because I do feel, content's not easy, and especially when you're in the same place doing the same thing every day, it gets, it kind of wears on you a little bit. Not complaining at all, but it's, I like to explore, I like to travel. I like to go for an adventure, and that's what we're going to do. And, we're still going to do the show. Show's not going anywhere. Still doing the show, still making videos, still, still trading, definitely still trading, still going to post in the Telegram group every day. Guys, the Tesla drives itself. Well, let's be clear about that. The Tesla drives itself. And, we can do everything while that thing's driving itself. Okay. So, I will just be watching the races. I'm not a professional supercross racer, unfortunately. That was plan A. And then I broke 28 bones racing motocross as a kid. But that was plan A for sure, was the race supercross. Gnarly sport. I'm just checking over the chat here for 1 minute. AJ, what are your thoughts about one getting back to ETH 38 cents? The supply has went up about 4 billion. I think you believe Harmony one you're talking about. I don't really have an opinion on that one, to be honest with you. I remember I held a little bit of it back in 21, and there was some good news about it. I might have wrote some scripts about it for Ben. I don't really remember too much about it, but I don't really have an opinion on that coin. It's kind of off my radar, and my bad. Whiskey Thief bro, AJ bro, I've never made a single negative comment, and your mods put me on timeout. All right, well you made that comment, went through, so I think as long as there's no negativity, I think you'll be fine, man. I don't blame the mods for doing their job. Maybe they were wrong about that one. You're here now, that's what matters. So let's put him out of timeout. I think he's cool with me. Mr. Mojo, when are you getting into the ring, AJ? Well, I don't know, because probably never, mainly because they have to pay me. You know what I mean? I make really good money for what I'm doing, and to take on a fight would be it does come down to money for me for that. I did train MMA for like 6 years. I know what I'm doing, but it's also one of those deals where you're going to do a training camp. You're going to spend all those hours punching people, getting punched in the face, hitting the gym, changing your diet, changing everything. I mean, I know the deal. I've helped, my friends go to fights. I actually, when I was 21, 22, I was actually supposed to fight in an octagon, and I broke my scapula racing at Unadilla, Loretta Lynn's regional, way back when. And because I got broke off, that kind of changed things for me. That injury was a turning point in my early 20s. But yeah, man, it's like, it's, would it be fun to go do it? But yeah, it would be. But I don't really care about the attention aspect of it. I want to be remembered as a trader and not as a fighter. And it also comes down to the money that I would be missing out on by completely deviating from my normal schedule. So if the money in it was even with what I'm making, that still wouldn't be worth it. The money would have to be more than what I'm making, and I don't know if they're going to pay me that. So yeah, I probably never, unless something dramatic happens that inspires me to want to kick someone's teeth in. Probably not. I do want to say that my good friend Paisan, fellow member of the V fam, he actually works for VeChain. I helped him land the job. He goes to every fight and helps VeChain coordinate their activation, because VeChain sponsors the UFC. And so he's actually fighting tomorrow in Miami, KC51. I'm bummed I'm not going to be at this fight. It's right down, it's 6 hours down the road in Miami. Certainly a scheduling conflict with me to not be able to make it to this one. But one of my best friends, Paisan, is fighting for Influencer Fight Club. I think he's going to run through this guy. Paisan's a badass dude. He got a chin. He can fight. He can throw down. Actually, a year ago, we did the UFC Apex and did a training session at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas with Forrest Griffin, which was crazy. And then Forrest Griffin and I actually have communication sometimes. I help talk to him about his crypto portfolio and stuff like that. And he hits me up sometimes. It's pretty cool. every time we'd play the UFC game in high school, I always picked Forrest Griffin just because, like, and then, to have a training session with him later in life was super surreal. But I am kind of offering like a sort of giveaway here. All right. So since he's one of my really good friends, one of my besties, if someone who retweets this post tomorrow, Paisan gets the win. They get $250 in karate token. If Paisan wins by knockout, someone will win $500 instead. So there is opportunity here for someone that likes retweets this to make money. And I hope the person that wins this giveaway, because I'm confident Paisan's going to win this fight, I hope whoever does this giveaway here is a fellow grogger. So let's hope someone in the chat takes this giveaway down. Make sure you head over to Twitter, retweet this post, and put yourself in there to hopefully win $500. Let's go, Paisan, and give him a follow too. This guy, this is the example of someone, almost 11,000 followers right here. UFC activation manager for VeChain, karate combat delegate, fight sometimes too, 4 partnerships, blah, blah, blah. So let me tell you a quick story. Quick story. And then we'll get into everything else, I promise. When I tell people you got to show up, you got to be there, go to conferences, put your hand out, go to the after parties, get in, meet people, find your people, and expand your network. I met Paisan over a year ago now, well over a year ago. And we're talking about a dude who was really good friends with a kid named Apollo, also a good friend of mine. And they kind of teamed up together, and they would go to as many crypto related events as they possibly could on a tight budget, mind you. And they kept grinding, made their content. If it got 10 likes, whatever, they just kept cooking, kept showing up, kept being there. And then a whole year later, Apollo lands a job emceeing at the karate combat events, like up on the TV. And then Sonny Lou literally asked me, hey, we need someone to help with UFC activation. Who do you know that loves VeChain, knows all about the VBetter community, like VBetter DAO and everything, and loves the UFC, would want to travel to every fight? Well, my brain went Paisan. Of course, Paisan. And now that he has that job. And those are 2 guys that just kept showing up. They just kept showing up. I don't really know if they had a plan or if they were just going for it, but there was 2 guys that got together, good friends, and said, hey, let's go to every crypto event we can. Let's just keep showing up. And now they're both making a living in the crypto industry by just showing up. Of course they put the work in. It's not like they just stood there. You got to stick your hand out and meet people. Like that's an example of someone, man, that I couldn't be more proud of, dude. It's I think a lot of people are kind of stuck on, go give him a follow, by the way. Real Paisan TPK, really good friend of mine, and he's going to win his fight tomorrow. But hey, that's what it takes. Some people, I think people with crypto, they want to be involved in the industry, and sometimes trading crypto, leverage trading for a living is hard on its own. I mean, I can attest to that for sure. I mean, the content and trading combination certainly is much better than just trading. But can you just trade? Yeah. But I really think people want to find a way into the industry. And I think those 2 guys, Apollo and Paisan, are an example of 2 people that worked their way into relationships that led them into really solid crypto industry jobs. And I bet if there are people out there that are stuck in, a 9-to-5 or just are sick of their job or want to be involved with crypto, I mean, I think those 2 guys could write a book on how to go from not knowing anybody to landing a great job in crypto. And I almost think that's almost an equally important point, that as the crypto industry grows, so will its workforce. And hey, there's a lot of jobs out there if you find them, but you got to show up. You got to be at the conferences. You got to meet the people. Networking, your network is your net worth. That's what they always say, right? Well, just wanted to lock that down. Smash the bull run. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you all. I see people talking about dominance. I'm not sure if anybody did the Pudgy Penguin. The Pudgy Penguin airdrop was super easy to do, by the way. I think I could actually show you really fast. I know the coin went down, pretty quick, which isn't like a surprise, but I still feel that it'll hang around. But here's the thing: if you don't have to be a Pudgy holder or Lil Pudgy holder to get involved on the airdrop. All you have to do, if you have an Ethereum wallet, like a MetaMask wallet from 2001, excuse me, not 2001, 2021, you go over here, click link ETH wallet, and make sure on your extension browser that you're on the MetaMask that was from 2021. And you can link multiple wallets if you have a handful of MetaMask wallets from 2021. Go to claim.pudgypenguins.com and you can link these wallets. And I didn't even really know that this was for OG ETH holders. And I went on there yesterday and I just kind of went through my MetaMask because I've had like a bunch of old wallets. And I had 3 eligible wallets and I got like $200 in the Pudgy Penguin coin. And hey, $200, still $200. So if any of you have old MetaMask wallets from 2021 and you want to, get in on some Pengu, hey, the airdrop's still hot right now. Make sure you head over there, claim.pudgypenguins.com. This is not a shill. This is not a paid thing. I just clicked on it, realized I was eligible because I was an OG ETH holder from 2021. And hey, a couple $100 there. You never know. Yeah, make sure you check if your wallets are eligible. Why not? Can't hurt. So I want to talk about FOMC. So guys, we're probably, according to the CMEgroup.com, the FedWatch tool, the next FOMC meeting is in about 2 hours, 47 minutes. All right. We are very likely to see a 0.25 slash. That's not a surprise to me, kind of same old continuation. So this is going to take time. I mean, when the slashes are aggressive, when they're hawkish, as they like to say, that will make a more of a direct impact on the markets. If they're all right, we're slashing interest, we're turning the money printer back on aggressively. That's one thing. Kind of like the first slash we saw, that the pivot was a really big deal. You actually go back and look at the pivot to the when I say rounded bottoms pay the bills on the chart, go put a dot on when the pivot happened and then look at the curvature. So there is obviously a correlation there. But when you're seeing 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, this is our third slash now. The last one was 0.25 too. I don't think that these are going to immediately, make any big waves. But this is something also, guys, that adds up over time. A 0.25 slash is kind of just a 0.25 slash, if that makes sense. But when these add up over month and 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 month, that's really when you start to see it get baked into the market. And I don't think that we're really anywhere close. I don't think crypto is anywhere close to where it will be when it matches the macro. I think there is a lot more interest slashes to come, and there's still a lot to be seen. Yesterday, I made a video about the next ETFs, right? So, I remember a lot of people thought, Solana XRP were the next up on the docket, and that does make sense. But actually, Solana ETFs were already rejected. A handful of them were already rejected. And XRP, Ripple, I mean, they're still kind of gridlocked with the SEC. And until the administration shifts, there's really, they kind of got to wait for the old team to go into the dugout and the new team to walk out on the field to really have their chance. So, there were Bloomberg analysts kind of postulating, what could be the next ETF for crypto. And their answer first was Bitcoin, Ethereum together, like a coupled ETF, both of them together. And I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually saw like a basket. So very similar to what they do in the stock market, whether that's a basket of the top 10 or a basket of assorted coins in the top 50, something like that. But the next one on the docket is likely to be Bitcoin, Ethereum combo. And then What about after that? When after that be Solana or XRP? Actually, still no, according to the Bloomberg analyst yesterday. Basically, we're talking Litecoin is next on the docket. And why Litecoin? Because Litecoin's a fork of Bitcoin. Litecoin's a fork of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has been declared a commodity, right? Well, if this thing is a fork of Bitcoin, shouldn't this also be a commodity? And I think, yes, I think they have a strong case there. Do I think Litecoin kind of needs to revive itself? I think so. I don't really know how strong that community is. It's not something I've really tapped into. I've been bullish on it in the past, not so much these days, but I still think they have a case considering they're a fork from Bitcoin, so they should be counted as a commodity. And also the second coin that might jump the line on Solana and XRP is no other than HBAR. That's right. You heard me. Hedera, the HBAR variant. And this is because, first of all, the governing council on Hedera, look at those names. Look at those names, backed by Google, backed by IBM, backed by the large tech projects that, survived the .com bubble and became behemoths, all support Hedera. That's not like a mistake. That's not on accident. Hedera is an extremely advanced project. Also has a strong claim to quantum resistance, similar to Algorand. They kind of do it different. That's something we can talk about another time. But I think that it would not surprise me if these analysts are right, and HBAR jumps the line and gets a ETF before Solana, before XRP. Hey, anything's possible. This is crypto we're talking about here. And I think people sleep on the governing council. People sleep on who actually backs Hedera. They have deep, deep, deep pockets. And hey, Hedera has come a long way, had a really strong pump earlier this year. And I think that's going to continue. Do want to do a quick little overview of the market. We'll dive into the rest of the show. All right, let's CoinGecko, Bitcoin down a little bit. I think, things kind of leading into FOMC. And let me say this before we really get into this. Anytime there is a CPI, FOMC, elections, these kind of these kind of somewhat unknown variables, that like macro variables that directly, indirectly affect crypto. I know a lot of traders that know that, all right, I'm not trading today. Can you trade on high news days like this? Yes, you can. But I also want you to be aware that when something aggressive happens, or when it goes the other way than the talked about consensus beforehand, like say right now, we have a really strong, like on FedWatch, we have a really strong case to go 0.25, right? Well, what if they came out and raised it points, 75 basis points, 50 basis points? If that happened, things would change, right? Or if they came out and paused, or if they came out and went the other way, this is just a probability, which is probably strong. That's probably what's going to happen. But there have been times where things don't go through the way we thought they would. All right. And the reason I'm saying that sometimes traders avoid these types of days, the CPIs, the FOMCs, elections, stuff like that, is because of the dreaded whipsaw. So what is a whipsaw? Whipsaw is when we're ranging along, and then say a candle will drop very heavily, and then in almost no time, it will clear all this liquidity. It will bottom, and then it will go back up further than where it originally dropped from. And this happens both ways. It could go up, clear the liquidity, come back down further than when it originally dropped from. And you kind of end up getting like it kind of looks like this. I'm sure I could find examples for you of whipsaws, but those are really near impossible to trade unless you have like limits set with big gaps from the target. And man, I get why they avoid that. To be honest, you're basically like asking for liquidations when big news, things like that happens, when things whipsaw. If you could like counter the whipsaw or wait for it to happen and then get in the trade, I've seen that. But there are professional traders, good friends of mine that I know, that will not trade days like today. And it's worth it to say that. When is the Fed talk? I believe 2:30 or 3 p.m. I'm pretty sure. I know on the site, Should just have instead. Yeah, so 2 hours and 39 minutes. So yeah, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I think the Jerome might speak at 2:30 though. Let me just double check so you guys. When does Jerome Powell speak next? Yeah, here we go. Oops, did not mean to click that. Yeah, so right here it says he is due to address the media at 2:30 p.m. 33 minutes ago. So there we go. All right, so I do want to go back to a quick little overview of the market. As you can see, a lot of red here on the right side, and this isn't like that bad, to be honest. Like, and this is kind of another point I want to drive home once we hit the charts today, is that a lot of things, despite being down a little bit, are still holding support resistance like really well. A lot of things that are, could be interpreted as local triangles. The Hederas, I think VeChain being one of them. And this is something I touched on yesterday, but I kind of want to go a little bit more further down the rabbit hole from the Cybertruck video. There's just a lot of red today across the market. Will things change after FOMC? That remains to be seen. No one can go to the future and come back. I wish I could, but I guess some influencers just have a time travel machine. I happen to be someone who does not know how to travel in time, but it's okay. So let's go to gainers and losers. We got BitGet, Hedera still somehow up 3% out of everything else virtual. This is one we're going to talk about here. I have a top 5 AI video coming down the pipe here pretty soon. This is one of them, Virtual's protocol. Has a lot to do with the AI agent narrative. If you've been hearing about that, it's a very popular narrative right now. And then top losers for today, Pudgy Penguins is down, Bonk, Dogwhip, Phantom. Outside of the memes, Phantom and Near are the first 2 real projects that are really down and out. 9-10%, Pyth down 8%, Quant, VeChain, the Graph, XRP, Jasmy, Filecoin, a lot of altcoins down, 5 to 9% today. And guys, there is a point where, to worry. But let me find my Hedera chart, because that's one I really want to talk about. I have a lot more to talk about than just this, but I do want to say this just for the sake of clarity. All right, so let me clean this chart up a little bit. There's a little bit of a mess that I made before. All right, so if you look at it, kind of ignore the oscillator, and you look at this setup on HBAR. All right, so let me get rid of these alarms. Okay, so we kind of come up this hill, right? We come up the hill and we have our first local top off, which is the local high. And then it has its first retest. So this here is the first retest, and this here is the first bounce after the retest. This immediately becomes the most important support resistant level on the chart when it continues back up, because losing this equals short. Losing that level where we bounce from, this is a 6-hour chart. We bounce from it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 wicks are right here on the 6-hour, for the record. All right. So this level, which is at 0.271, so just over 27 cents. All right, 271. That is a level we do not want to see HBAR lose. All right. So of course, the next leg down, we actually did lose it just a little bit. We wicked below it, which was a 15% wick to the downside, which was kind of just liquidity clearing. And then this trade idea from losing this level was a 6% down right here in 18 hours. It took a little time, but that was a trade you could have targeted from losing that level. So immediately we already have started to form our downtrend, right? So we already kind of have our high and our lower high, and we go this way. We've established that. But what now? Now that we put in this lower low, you could go this way with it, kind of forming a parallel downtrend. But this is where things get interesting. Pay attention. So when we come back up, we retest. Of course, we lower high again, not a strong look. But when we come down, we actually bounce off of what? The same level as before. All right. Could you even say you could, but it's really not big enough to say that, in my opinion. But my point here is that if you don't want to view this as a downtrend, oops, I mean to do that, and you want to ignore these kind of wicks down, and you just want to draw this line straight across like a triangle, you very much can view it that way. Although both ideas are there. I mean, you could have a chart that has both. All right. And you could even have a chart that says, oh, okay, well, we already put that bottom in. What about this little local uptrend? You can do that too. You can have all of those lines there if you want to. But my point here is that, once again, this 271 level is the level for Hedera. If we lose this level, that is a very big deal. Very, very big deal. Not to mention, we have this macro uptrend that, Hedera really, if it fell to 23 cents, 24 cents today, it would technically still be in an uptrend if it fell straight down today. So ultimately, my idea here is that big alarm on 271. All right, we could target this previous low if we lost it. Like I said, about 6%, 5.9%. You could target the wall of the uptrend, about 9%. But the hope is that we do not lose this level for a couple of reasons. If we lose this level, we are really kind of sticking to that downtrend nature, right? And then we might even be talking like a flag situation, kind of like Bitcoin was in a flag. You could be thinking about that. Also, we don't want to break structure because we want to hold this level and we want to bounce and continue and put in a higher high. That is the hope. And that hope isn't dead yet. I would say that idea is kind of out the window if we put in a lower low. If we put in a lower low and we're just bull flagging, it's going to take a lot more time rather than kind of holding this local pennant and popping up out of it right now. And guys, this is why conditional trading, alarm trading is much, much, much safer and much less of a headache than guessing. Don't guess, react to the market. And guys, there are a lot of setups very similar to Hedera. Even looking at something like Algorand. Oh, not that Algorand chart. Let's find. Yeah, so very similar situation with Algorand, except from the first retest, we already lost this level. All right, so this is a similar situation, but different in the fact that it's not viewed as a triangle because we lost this low already and were rejected from it. So actually, Algorand reclaiming 43.1 would be extremely strong look. But now that it's coming down, this previous low, that is certainly a level we want to hold at 39.4. You don't want to see anything at 39.4. We are kind of falling into the volume profile here a little scary. I would say this level is kind of the hope, because really the next level would be all the way down here for support resistance at 32.8. And then really that's not much volume there either. And then the volume profile doesn't really pick up to around 29 cents. And if we're talking Algorand's doomed to go to 29 cents, we're talking losing 25% from where we are right now. So, this isn't really a large leap in logic when I say that, making sure that you are very aware of the environment that you're in. I mean, do I think that this was the top of the altcoin bull market? Absolutely no. I think Algorand is going to put some serious intimidating numbers on the board. I feel the same way about a lot of the coins that I hold, from VeChain to HBAR to Jasmy, across the board. I don't think any of the coins in my 100K portfolio, I don't think this was the bull run high for any of them. But yeah, I do want to say that this is even really hard to draw like a straight, kind of even draw like that. But right now, things are kind of sad on the 6 hour. We are kind of trending down. But like I say, as long as we hold this low, there's still hope. There's still hope. If we break this, kind of all bets are off for now. Guys, we are kind of going into Christmas. We are kind of heading into 2025. Trump's not even in office yet. There's a lot of macro to still play itself out. It's not like the end of the world if we, you know, it would, and here's the thing, like kind of go back, look at like an algo daily chart from way back when. Look at this pump. Look at this pump right here. This one's even worse. This one started here, pumped top to bottom. This is back in 2020, pumped 123%, falls 78% further than when it started, and then wakes back up. Look at this one from right here, 266% in 50 days. Then what? Falls all the way back. I mean, how far of a fall are we talking here? 69%. So both of these pumps up both fell about 70% when they came back down the hill. All right. And so what would happen if Algorand fell 70% from this? That would put us at 18.3. And remember when 16 cents was the level, ladies and gentlemen? 16 cents, right? Well, it could fall 70% from the local top and still be above 16 cents. The level I gave you like kind of before Thanksgiving, Halloween time. I mean, guys, even like right here, it fell 40%. We had this pump here. Oop, let me get this out of the way. I mean, you get my point, right? This, as much as this could be a situation where there have been some gnarly retests that lead into the next leg up, I think that's really what the conversation comes down to. Is this going to be a multi-month, sad, weary, dreary, eerie, beery retest? Or can this be a situation where, oh man, I wish I bought right here because boom? I think that if there was a time for an aggressive reversal like that to happen, it would make sense going into 2025. It really would make sense. But ultimately, for you traders out there, I would say this level right here, this local low at 37 cents, that's your sign. Just like Hedera 27.1, that's your sign for Hedera. So I hope that kind of answers some of your questions. Can we look at the XRP chart? Sure, we can look at the XRP chart. No problem. I will get, Doozy said, I will get an Algorand tramp stamp when it hits $5, dude. Oh my God. I have a couple bets with people. Like if H bar hits $3, we're going to get like the H bar tattoo. If VeChain hits $1, I'm going to get a tattoo of BMO, their mascot BMO. Have you guys seen BMO? Let's talk about BMO just for 1 second. I love BMO. BMO's so cool. BMO. 1 second. I gotta show you guys BMO. He is the homie. Hold on. Where's he at? Oh, okay. I found him. There he is. Hold on. Let's make this photo real big so everyone can see it. Open image in new. Oh, there he is. There's our guy. There's BMO. Look at him go. BMO. He's on the moon. Here's BMO cleaning up the desert. Here he is on the moon with his little sprout. And here he is in a river. An electronic robot standing in the middle of a river playing with a butterfly. Shout out to our good friend BMO. We do love BMO. So if VeChain gets to $1, guys, I got to get a tattoo of BMO. I'm not even mad about it. I love BMO. All right. So, hey, everybody in the chat, like, where's the tooth? Where's the tooth? And then the tooth shows up posting about what? The teeth. The tooth posting the teeth. I do love to see it. Shout out to Chauncey Peppertooth, a newer member of my Telegram group. Great to have you, bro. Great to have you. $5. I'm hoping for 15. And Algorand goes to $15. You're gonna have to find. You're only gonna find me on a remote island. I will own an island if Algorand goes to $15. Yeah, definitely some DCA discounts today, and I think that's the point. Zachary Gilbert, I think you really summed it up for me with that chat. Some DCA discounts today. That's super fair, because here's the thing with trading is that if you're just buying and holding, and buying and holding, and buying and holding. Right now, probably not the worst time to buy. Even if you bought right now and it fell 40% tomorrow, guess what? It still wasn't a bad buy. Why? Because where we sell all of these coins is going to be way higher than the high we just had. Remember when we talked about this at length. Literally, let's find like a different chart that we could use as an example here. I think FET's a bad example. PI's a bad example. About OP. Also kind of a bad example. Let's just use Algorand really quick. All right. So we talked about when we put the high in March in right here. Here was our high in March, right? And then we quickly had this gnarly drop. So how long did it take for this initial gnarly drop to happen? About, 48% in 36 days, or even just here 31% in 30 days. So 30 days, kind of keep that in your mind. How many days are we here from this top? We're only 18 days in. So, there's an idea. We still have 12 more days. And then Algorand kind of bled for how long? 207 days. It was kind of in this 50% range for 207 days after this initial big red candle, that one right there. All right. And this whole time, when we were here, this March high level is what? Our local target. That becomes the target. That becomes, we need to get back to this level and surpass it, which is why this level is a massive support resistance level at 33 cents. So really, guys, when I'm talking Algo TA, now that this is our new high, just like the March target was back through these doldrums, this is now our new target. To be fair, sure, the local low level that I talked about at length just a minute ago is at 37 cents. This level, the previous high at 33 cents, 37 cents, I would consider a trade. 33 cents, lose that. That's like a big bummer. But ultimately, the end of the day, well, I just clicked out of the chart. That just becomes the target. And I feel like as long as across the board we can say, okay, it's late 2024, we know what our new target is. I think anything we buy now under that target ultimately is a win, considering we can all agree that a couple weeks ago was not the bull market high. So let's leave that there. Yeah, and I completely agree. Some DCA discounts. And I think the reason I get kind of caught up in things is because yes, I hold. Yes, I DCA. Yes, I have large portfolios, but I'm also a day trader. And it is very important to separate, compartmentalize in your brain. All right, this here is my DCA bag. I'm not day trading this. I want to hold these for like a year, long-term capital gains, blah, 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 blah. But like the trade brain is like, oh man, if it hits this level, we're probably going to drop another 15%. Shouldn't I involve this other side? And the answer is no. I think it's best, because if you're jumping in and out with your HODL bag, one, you're not giving yourself a chance to get to long-term capital gains. And two, since you're buying and selling, and on short-term capital gains, when you jump out and jump back in, you have to outperform the taxes. Another thought on why you shouldn't play the jump in, jump out game with your HODL bags. Yeah, I'm done jumping in and out, says Mr. Mojo in the chat. That's because it's dangerous business. It's dangerous business. It can be done. It's not easy to do. Not at all. I would say, especially to the beginners out there, if you're just buying and holding, guys, just buy and just hold. Because what we just saw wasn't the top. Yeah, when are we getting Algorand staking? Very soon. Very, very soon. I'm not sure exactly the day it goes live. I can check. But this soonish for sure. It's going to be big, and that will definitely help pad the price. No questions about that. Very interesting story. right here. Bitcoin ETFs overtake gold in major market shift. Damn. That is insane. That doesn't feel real. In terms of gold ETFs, not gold as an entire industry. Bitcoin ETFs in the US have surpassed gold ETFs in assets, making a historic shift as investors embrace Bitcoin as the new store of value. Bitcoin spot ETFs in the United States have overtaken gold ETFs and assets under management, making a significant shift in investor preference. The milestone reflects the growing popularity of Bitcoin as a modern alternative to traditional assets like gold. Despite gold ETFs having a 20-year advantage, Bitcoin ETFs have surged ahead within just 1 year of their launch in January 2024. This is like really, guys, the biggest deal in terms of, and this is why I think ETFs are so important. And I think that once the institutional door opens for Litecoin, the institutional door opens for Hedera, eventually XRP, Solana. Think about the hype leading into the Bitcoin ETF. Think about we had like a big rise in anticipation. All right. I don't think it could have, like, the day of could have been a sell the news, but ultimately once the money locked rises and rises and rises and rises, look at where we are. I think where we are now, do I feel that, is it kind of scary because the whales are controlling the situation for sure? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But for anyone who bought Bitcoin before the ETF, no matter what the whales manipulate, in the long run, you're going to win. The longer time frame you look at, the more you win. If you're trying to, micromanage every significant pump, there is an art to that. But it's also, when you kind of zoom out and look at the big picture, way better to just kind of, it's safer, not better, but safer to kind of just do that. Look at the big picture, zoom out as far as you can all the time as a longer term investor. And this is kind of ties, this article right here ties right back into what we were just saying about, Litecoin, about Hedera. They are going to have their day in the sun. It is inevitable that they're going to have their day in the sun. So super excited about that. Guys, and I'm still seeing more stories like this. Cardano sees record whale activity. Price to $2. And guys, I don't ever really care about stories like this, other than the fact that whales are buying, and whales are buying now. Look, Cardano recorded 687 whale transactions, exceeding $1 million in 24 hours, signaling rising institutional interest. Analysts predict ADA could hit $1.46, $1.76, and $2.04 if the bullish conditions persist. Garbadello forecast reaching ADA $3 to $14, backed by a 50 billion market cap during a super cycle. I'm not the only one saying the super cycle word. I think it's very possible. And guys, and for the record, let's look at Cardano right now. All right, so we go to daily. Got some like old scribbles here, of course. Welcome to AJ Rice Crypto. Ultimately, so guys, we have this immense spike run from November to now. 301% in 29 days, top to bottom. And guess what? We're seeing insane whale activity here. Meaning that even if we come down here, the whales buying here are not really trying to sell until up here somewhere. That's how long-term I want you to look at this. That's what I mean by, if you're not risking it, you're not a day trader, you just want to zoom out, make sure you zoom out and you can't get emotionally tied into every significant shift, because that's the long term and it takes time. I think the biggest thing I could say to anyone new to crypto is, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you a patient man? Are you a patient man? If the answer is yes, this game could be for you. If the answer is no, you need to become a patient man. All right. It's like one of those pie charts where the answer always kind of circle back to the other answer, where you will inevitably have to become a patient man. Amazing sweetness. Well, guys, I am going to about hit the road here today. Got a couple. Oh yeah, a couple more stories I forgot to go over. 1 second. Crypto.com drops SEC lawsuit after meeting with Trump. Is that a surprise? Like, I don't really find that as a surprise. I think Trump's like, hey guys, listen, the old administration, they're old, they're gone. It's all over with. It's gone. It's over. And I think he just dropped a lawsuit and we'll be friends. Millions of dollars. And I think that's what we're ultimately, yeah, that's great. Hell yeah. Good pat on their back for sure. Of course, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Bitcoin and Ether ETFs expect to lead crypto funds in 2025. Guys, there is going to be, this is certainly the word, the hot word right now. A wave of new funds. Wall Street has made so much money on Bitcoin ETFs, on crypto. They're starting to see, oh shit, why were we on the sidelines for so long? Let's get in on this money. So when they have a massive success, they're going to dip back into that well and dip back into that well and dip back into that well. And you're an ETF and you get an ETF and you get an ETF. We have a basket of ETFs, an ETF. And that is just opening the institutional door. And we are just we're at the beginning of really it happening. Yeah, you know, the January this year was when Bitcoin happened, and it's going to take time for the rest of crypto to join the party. But when that happens, when they say words like a wave of new funds, that's what I've been seeing a lot. And of course, like I said earlier in the show, Bitcoin and the next ETF is likely to be Bitcoin and Ethereum together. After that, more likely to be Litecoin HBAR than Solana XRP until the shift at the SEC. Okay, so make sure you keep that on your minds. Of course, like I said earlier in the show, one of my very good friends, Paisan, is fighting Karate Combat tomorrow. Very good friend of mine. Couldn't be more excited for my homie to get in and get involved at Karate Combat. And I do have a giveaway right here. If he gets the win tomorrow, $250 in karate to someone who likes retweets his post. If he gets the knockout, someone gets $500 instead. Head over to my Twitter at AJRedCrypto. I hope it's one of you guys in the chat that gets this giveaway for my good friend Paisan. Go give him a follow as well. Really cool guy. Guys, also we have been making definitely some big gains in the Telegram group. Couldn't be more excited for everyone there. We've been killing it. Put out a couple posts Monday, trades that worked out really well. I am going to go over that, of course. If you want to join the group, ajalphagroup@gmail.com. Send me an email, sign up for the group. It's going to be these next couple weeks. I'm really interested on what's going to happen. I do worry. I am a reactive trader. I'm generally not someone who likes to guess. I don't like guessing. I like reacting when certain inevitable things happen. If a chart is running out of room and there's an alarm on each side, I am, reacting to the break of that when it runs out of room, right? But when you look over at here at Bitcoin dominance, put in another little local higher high. Maybe, hey, we have this uptrend. Is it getting rejected from the other side of this trend line? It looks like it has twice now. I worry that if Bitcoin dominance continues, Bitcoin continues to suck the air out of the room. If it was to reclaim 58.7 and Bitcoin runs the show. If Bitcoin runs the show, guys, Bitcoin runs the fucking show. And the alts are going to have to take a backseat if that happens. If this goes this way, I will not be surprised to watch altcoins slowly bleed for a little while. Could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months. I've never been to the future and have come back. But we've seen now on Bitcoin dominance what a little spill on the dominance chart can do for us here in crypto. I mean, it's not rocket science. Bitcoin dominance goes down. We win. 2021. This is the drop that gave us the bulk of the bull run right here. We had the pump we had, guys. And we only fell that far. That far. So even if Bitcoin dominance comes up to here, or even puts in a higher high, or even comes up here, double tops, whatever it comes up here and does, the altcoins are going to suffer while Bitcoin dominance comes up here and does what it does. Until the day comes when we see this fall again. So we've seen from here to here equals the pump we had. Cool, let's get it back to here. Let's get it back to there. Because then if we have that same dip again, we know what's going to happen. All right. And also, if Bitcoin dominance loses this level, the local low at 54.6, that's going to be the day, ladies and gentlemen. That is the day we're waiting for. I would set an alarm on this level on Bitcoin dominance at 54.63 and title that alarm the day you've been waiting for. That's what I would call that alarm. All right. So ultimately, I believe that, like I said, I'm going to preface this with I'm not a guesser. I don't guess, but I don't think Bitcoin is really going anywhere. Looking at just Bitcoin itself, it has fought this previous high level from earlier in December, 103.9. It's been fighting there a couple times. We're actually at there right now. The more immediate short alarm would actually be here. The short alarm for Bitcoin in my book is actually if it dips a little bit below, if it puts in a new low, bounce here, 103.122, we lose that. I could definitely get behind some Bitcoin shorts, especially with the point of control, kind of local point of control, kind of waking up, not point of control, point of control is up here, but we do have a local volume profile spike here. I would see like a drop from like 103, 101, high 100s. I think is Bitcoin psychologically, Bitcoin needs to hold 100. That is kind of a must in the conditions for another big alt run, but it does make a lot of sense. I mean, guys, Bitcoin just put in a new all-time high literally like yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday, 108.2. Bitcoin's still climbing. Like we can't just say, okay, that was the top, that was the local top. I don't think we can say that when we had a high here. I mean, we kind of just had this trend line of highs. All right. And I don't think Bitcoin is going to slow down anytime soon. I'm just saying that it's sucking the air out of the room for altcoins. And I think that this dip that we're seeing with your alt bag, I think it's going to take a little longer than you want it to. That's my knee-jerk reaction to what has been happening here. I mean, but the thing is, I like targeting things that are in uptrends. Yeah, if Bitcoin loses 100K, that's a short for sure. I agree with Matt B in the chat on that. But guys, Ethereum here kind of had this double top right here at just 4,100. Is that previous support resistance? Bet your bottom dollar it is. Look at that. Right here, March 24, Ethereum got to that level. And now Ethereum got to that level and got rejected from it twice. Interesting. But, the kind of the bulk of this uptrend here, Ethereum's still kind of in that. And I would also say with Ethereum, kind of that little level right there, that wick 3,800. Ethereum goes below 3,800 and loses this little local uptrend. Not a perfect uptrend, but it is there. I could get behind a short on that. I know someone wanted to see XRP. I'll do that chart and hit the road. Let me find a better XRP chart. All right. So interesting enough, on the oscillator, XRP's oscillator high was actually here. And then you can kind of see this push down. Very similar chart on the normal RSI. I will get rid of the normal RSI. All right. And I kind of messed up by doing that. All right. So the divergence has already really started to show its face here. Not saying that's the end of the world. Doesn't have to be. Common, but doesn't have to be. The point I like to point out for XRP is that on the momentum oscillator is that it's still above this kind of zero line on market cipher. It had that little dip right here, but these little dips are kind of what you want to see. It's these big ones you got to worry about for when the price starts to come down. So it breaking this is, that would kind of be a big giveaway. We are looking at an 8-hour chart here, so it's kind of a large time frame. A sign of strength was that XRP actually kind of wicked above that high. Because it had its big run up, it peaked out, It put that low in. So that low also immediately becomes support resistance. Okay. And it did wick above this high, which is really strong. So in the event it goes above that again, XRP local high on my chart, 289. So if XRP breaks 263, you could target 289. All right. And then this is the range of the highs and lows. XRP loses the support resistance level from the first low at 222, target a short to 203. And also it's kind of setting on the volume profile right now. And interestingly enough, of course, we do have pretty aggressive low volume node, little baby spike here that explains this wick. But if we were to really break down, a move to, volume weighted levels, 146, 110, I don't think it's going to be that aggressive, but there is, just kind of pointing out what I'm seeing. But I think if Bitcoin's continuing to crawl, Bitcoin's continuing to put in higher highs, I don't know why anything else won't follow it. I just think it's going to take a little longer than you think. I think the key is to set these levels, set these alarms. I'll give them to you one more time, top to bottom for XRP, 189. That's the target if we break above 162, which is this level here. If we lose 224, which is this level here, our first target is 202, 203, which is this level here. And then, of course, let the volume profile guide you. Where's my EMA? It's fine. It's fine. I gotta go. I will put a more detailed XRP chart in the Tele group. All right. You didn't do turbo yesterday. Okay. You're right. Turbo. Fine. You know why I'm doing this? Because the chat gave me turbo and we made some money on turbo way earlier this year. So we're looking at the 8. Looking at the 8 hour. Oh, does this chart not go far back enough? There we go. All right. So turbo is a super volatile look from these big moves up, 130%, big move down, right back to where it started. Big move up, big move down to where, basically big support resistance. All right. Which here and there. So these really exaggerated moves kind of make me think, all right, well, anytime this thing has a really strong push, it's probably going to come back down to where it started, or it's going to come back to the new floor support resistance right here. This bottom alarm 0028, this top alarm, I'm just starting 00708. All right. So locally has an extremely aggressive downtrend, even more aggressive than the one before. And the one before kind of spit us back down right around here. We also do have this wick so guys, this right here is an example of a whipsaw. This is a large time frame whipsaw where we're continuing, we lose it all, and then we go up further than where we started. That is a whipsaw right there. There it is. And it can go both ways. It works both ways. It's a two-way street. I do like that even on the 8 hour, the curvature here is kind of slowing down. Maybe we'll print a dot and put in a slightly higher low. That's an idea. I don't hate that idea. But we do have to kind of appreciate how hard this thing fell last time it did. Kind of hard to ignore this support resistance right here. From this touch, this. All right. Of course, we have to mark the bottom. And this level here is at 0.0103. So just about a penny. This one here, which is right at point of control, 0.00896 from where it wicked out to. So it's in between this previous SR and where it wicked out to. If you really wanted to zoom in and get fancy, say like a 2 hour, this is a really tight range. I mean, if we kind of ignore the top and just kind of see the range for what it's in, you could even draw it like that, or you could kind of tighten it like it doesn't, like, you kind of get my point. It's a really sharp downtrend. And this is the kind of downtrend that if you break, you will be looking for a confirmation type level to make a case to go long. I know for what we have here, confirmation, it's really only 7% above the hill. That's not that bad of a weight for confirmation. Of course, alarm local low at 0.0095. All right. Interesting. Yeah, definitely some bullish divergence here on the 23 minute. See it coming down. Anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger. So there is some ideas for reversal here. For sure. That kind of coincides with the 8 hour. But of course, this here, local low, this is your short at 0.0095. This breakout level is good for awareness, more safer to go from the trend line just above a penny. And then target one would be here at 0.109. Target two would be here at 0.113. So that's how I'm looking at Turbo right now. I don't know how much leverage liquidity it has. I have to look into that. But this was kind of like a spot buy that happened. Mike J, any websites you suggest for me to learn about candles and wicks and all the different patterns you see? I mean, really, there's so many, like just like simple, very simple, like Investopedia type stuff, or if you just type in chart pattern sheets. I have like a bunch of them printed out. Like I have like this book. I have like this old notebook right here where it's like confirm breakout patterns, all this stuff. This was kind of like a thing I put together myself, things I just printed off the internet, and I kind of like put them. I like making notebooks. So I like put them all on these pages, divergence, regular divergence, hidden divergence. I love doing that kind of stuff. This is all kind of compiling all of this together into a book or a trading course, kind of what I'm doing right now. But yeah, really Investopedia or just search, descending scallop pattern, flag pattern, pennants, the hanging man, shooting star. I mean, it's a quick Google away. I got a lot of mine from Investopedia at the time. I'm certainly trying to make my own models, like my own book. I could like kind of make them myself. That's going to take time, of course, but hey, one day at a time. We can't do it all every day, but we can try. You guys rock. I hope that answers your question. Chris Higgins, what website do you go to see what a coin's market cap would need to be a certain price? Good question. So that would be thecoinperspective.com. That's this website right here. All right, that would be thecoinperspective.com. Okay. Let's see if Cardano had a $2 trillion market cap or a 200 billion market cap. It'd be $5.58 at 200 billion. At 2 trillion, it'd be $55. You can play around like that. Thecoinperspective.com. Very fun website and good place to do the moon math. All I will say about the Coin Perspective is that if you're projecting something for a year away, make sure that or have a rough idea of the tokenomics. So you can say, okay, well, if this thing rises 4% a year and I'm doing my math for Q4 next year, let's add these extra tokens into the supply because they will be there by the time we get to what we hope. So make sure you add up the tokenomics if you're doing longer term projections as well. This is why making short term price predictions or coins that have really good tokenomics, it makes price predictions a lot easier. Sweetness. Any more live streams this week? Yep, I will be live streaming tomorrow, and we will be doing members only live stream on Friday. Yep, so certainly looking forward to that. Of course, I'm just checking out the chat. Amazing. Yeah, this is been an interesting time for sure. There's so many charts that I pulled that I want to go over today, but there's also a lot of news with the FOMC meeting, and I kind of wanted to drive that point home about trading on days like today can be risky. I don't want to see anyone get wrecked out. So yeah, we will live stream Thursday, members only Friday. So Duke, I know. I am definitely just kind of stuck about it, to be honest, Duke. No one got fired. So essentially, I do owe you guys an apology, first of all. You guys, the audience, my audience. Very unprofessional. I am not that guy. If I'm that mad at someone, valid or not valid, I don't do that. I would certainly at least want to have a conversation and not just burst in while someone's streaming. Very rude, for sure. Disrespectful. Not aligning with what I define as good morals. Essentially, I have a good friend of mine named Goody, and Goody helped me, with my content, helped me kind of get my stuff more professional, helped me update my audio gear, kind of, helping me guide me in the right direction. He used to work for Mario. Overall, a good friend, and he had, we stopped hanging out over the summer, and apparently Ben was under the impression that Goody said something to someone that I don't believe it happened. I don't think Goody did what Ben thinks he did, considering I looked at the entire message rundown, didn't see it. But I recently have been needing help. I've made a lot of money this year. And I would like help, like Ben has J chains. Well, I need help too. And I didn't think that me bringing Goody to help me would cause an outburst. I thought that if there was any discrepancy from something that happened over 7 months ago, that we could talk about it, figure it out, right or wrong, whatever. But I guess not. I guess we're just going to just go 0 to 100 and not have a conversation. And that's not okay. It's not cool. I obviously am walking on eggshells. Not something I like to do. Not something I'd ever thought I would do. The energy is kind of up and down. Sometimes things are really good. Sometimes things are really bad. I don't like the dice roll of it. I likely will be, not tomorrow or whatever, but I likely will be moving on. For probably better for everybody. I don't want to be in an environment where I can't have people come here and help me. I don't want to be in an environment where I need to walk on eggshells. You know what I mean? It's not about, I just want to be in a better place. It's that simple. And it sucks because obviously we're friends. We're all friends. And it hasn't been easy, sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad, and that's relationships, I guess. But I think in this certain time, I think we don't need to hate each other. I don't think we're going to be enemies, but I also think that I'm going to move on, and that's fine. That's good. That's good. That was certainly one of those deals where it's hard because Ben was the one who gave me my shot. And for that, I will be forever grateful. I will be very thankful that he gave me that shot. And I earned it. There was a reason. Hey, who wrote that script? Bring that kid here. I want all of the scripts done by him. That was me. I earned that spot. I wrote a lot of the videos you guys loved. And, I slowly but surely, despite what everyone else wanted in that hit network, I rose into the person I am now. Head of everyone in that building, out of all that drama, all that fucking bullshit, I'm the one that somehow became a millionaire. Why is that? Why is that? Because I worked harder than all of you. It's that simple. That's not ego. That's not a diss. It's not a shot. I worked harder. I know more. It's that simple. Knowledge is king. Why do you think I ride you guys so much about reading books like this, studying 3 to 4 hours a day? You think I say that shit because I like to hear myself talk? No. I say that because that's what I did. It was not easy for me, guys. Not at all. I struggled. And I got this crypto job and so happy to move to Georgia and, do this big opportunity. Right. And, I didn't get paid shit. You know what I mean? Like I made next to nothing in Hit Network, but I got paid in exposure. I got paid with an opportunity, and that opportunity took me really far. And, it's hard because the guy that gave me the shot is also the guy being really hot-headed sometimes. And that's it's not cool, man. It's not cool. Just having a conversation would have done just fine. Whatever. I wanted this to work out. I did. But it's pretty clear that it's fine with me. I just I like being in an environment where I'm working with other people. I don't want to like have an office at my house and just be at my house. Like I like to go to work. I like being in an environment where I'm with other people working. So I certainly will be, if not starting my own studio with people or, working with other people doing the same thing. I like being in an environment where people are all working on the same thing. I do appreciate that. And someone said, is that why the road trip's happening? No, that's not why the road trip's happening. I'll go ahead and tell you guys. I'm getting a really sick crypto wrap on the Cybertruck. And one of the main sponsors for the Cybertruck crypto wrap is VeChain. VeChain is a main sponsor of this channel. And I am shipping the Cybertruck to LA to be on display at the UFC fight. And we're going to, like help people earn free crypto and give out coffee mugs, make people coffee and do like the mugshot thing with them. And I think that's really cool, to help, people learn how to get into crypto. Hey guys, earn free crypto. Just do this one thing. It's so easy. And that hopefully will bring people into the door. I love that stuff. And then, just traveling a bit, just kind of hitting the road, me and Jada against the world. That's going to be a blast. And this was already planned before any of the other stuff. So yeah, but guys, Anaheim is in LA, but it's like an hour away, bro. You know what I mean? Like we have family in LA. A lot of good friends and family in LA actually. Is what it is. And I do want to thank the audience, you guys here. You guys have been here the whole time, and I couldn't be more grateful for my core community. Wouldn't be here without you. Definitely wouldn't be here without you. I could just trade and make money that way, which is fine. But I like teaching. I like helping. I want to be involved. The emails I get sometimes every week, sometimes once a month. Hey man, you helped me so much. Hey, I paid my mortgage off. Hey, I was able to buy my wife an engagement ring. Hey, I was able to do this, or I quit my job. Like, those types of messages, man, and people that are inspired from my story. I don't think people truly understand where I came from. I don't think any of y'all really get it. Not easy, guys. Not easy. But when you're passionate about something, you believe in yourself and you want it more than anyone else, here are your results. I wanted it more. I tried harder. I was less worried about being fucking cool and more worried about what the hell is a hidden divergence. How do you use a volume profile? How do they calculate the RSI? What's that equation? Well, how does it work? I want to know how shit works. I want to learn and grow. And I'm not perfect. I'm still learning and growing. And I want to help you guys learn and grow. And you're not perfect. And you're still learning and growing. And we're doing it together. It's one of those deals where, you got to put in the time. And I think that's the problem with the world and crypto and, this disease of instant gratification where everyone where everyone wants everything and they want it now. They want it now. And they think that, crypto, this is my ticket. I could just do this thing and I could make all this money. I could change my life immediately, happen real fast. Like, no. Can crypto change your life? Yes. 1000 fucking percent. Crypto can be your ticket. But if you think it's going to come easy, if you think it's going to come without heartbreak, if you think it's going to come without struggle or without a very long learning curve process, this is no. That this is not easy, guys. It doesn't get any more real than crypto, for real. And there's a lot of bullshit out here. There's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of people just cheating. And they know who they are. But then there are the people that don't. There are the people that work for it. I am one of the people that worked for it. I've never scammed my audience. I've never dumped my audience. I've never why would I? You know what I mean? I'd rather teach you guys how to trade. I'd rather teach you how to fish. That's what CryptoFace did for me. So, but I'll leave it there. And it's not easy to. I kind of always wanted to be. I hate the drama, guys. I want to be known for my intelligence, not my temper. I don't give a shit about the drama. I don't give a shit about the likes or the, hey, look at me. Like, I don't. Okay. Like, cool. Like, I'm just more of, when you work hard, when you dedicate your life to a cause, and when you know and believe in yourself, no matter what the industry is, if you prepare, hard work beats talent every time. That is, that's my story. Hard work beats talent every time. I'm the hard work. One day, guys, it's not easy talking about this stuff. I don't like talking about the drama, man. I fucking hate it, bro. I fucking hate it. I want, I just wanted to learn about crypto. It's always been that simple for me. And I always knew that this was going to work. I never had a doubt in my mind. As many times as I needed help and called my dad and, struggled. And, I never doubted that this would work, despite the odds enormously stacked in my favor against me. So motos must have set you up for hard work. There it is, Marsh. There it is. Y'all, guys, motocross is a gnarly sport. Blood, sweat, and tears went into my program. I would wake up super early and run or ride my bicycle, or I'd come home right after school. I had a track at my house. I'd ride every single day, all the time. I had the sick double that was like bigger than all the other jumps. And I would just turn around and throw a whip left and turn around and throw a whip right. And then just ride for hours. And like, I'm the kind of person that's like, oh, I want to do this thing. Well, to do this thing, I need to focus on this. And if I focus on this and nothing else, I'm going to be really good. And, that's what I did with racing, man. And ultimately it's a bummer that I didn't go pro, really. Like, I was really fast. I had all the sponsors. I got all of my shit for free. My dad made me rocket ship motors. Like, I was one of the fastest guys around. Everyone knows that if you were racing back then. And I just kept getting hurt. I kept getting hurt. Guys, I've broken 28 bones in my life. 28. And it's some of them happened when I was leading a race, some of them happened when I was passing into third, like, whatever. But like, I put my heart into that sport, and it took a while to forgive my childhood self for putting so much of my life into motocross and to not come out racing. You know what I mean? I think writing for Racer X magazine helped a little bit because I was still like peripherally, tangentially in that industry, and I have actually been trying to get crypto sponsors involved with racing dirt bikes, and I've come close, and I've had even more bites now. It's probably going to happen one day, to be honest. And but you're right, man. Motocross set me up big time. If you want your kid to be a gnarly little fucker, get him on a dirt bike. Get him on a dirt bike. Give him a couple of years. Don't make him an animal. You know, it shapes people, man. You in that world, you live in a world where, okay, I'm gonna get on this bike and I'm gonna hit this corner every lap for 6 laps, and I'm gonna hit this 130-foot jump, and this is normal. This is normal. It's not normal. It's actually fucking gnarly. But you know, that did set me up. And whenever I have my own kids, damn straight, they be racing. We're going racing again. I can't wait to buy the motorhome. You know, so. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that for now. Your kid rides, Marsh. I love to hear it, man. Keep them going. Keep them going. I do appreciate all of the love in the chat. You all that have been here for as long as you have, you know who you are. Amazing. Yeah, the electric bikes they have, the Stark, the Vargs, and all that. I mean, crazy, insane. But I do really appreciate everybody in the chat who has had my back and that understands the realness here. Crypto Pete, holla. It's one of my OG friends from back in the day. Man, he was faster than me. Gangsta Pete was ripping. He's also like 5 years older than me, but still a good friend. I'm glad he's in my chat. It's very cool to see that. Gangsta Pete, we are coming to Maryland on Monday. Hello. Hit me up. But yeah, obviously, guys, that's a really good chat. I've said that before, Doozle. If you aren't willing to sacrifice what you want becomes the sacrifice. Think about that. Really think about that next time you watch TV instead of look at charts. Really think about that next time you just like fuck off instead of doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's not about like being fucking cool. And I really think that's what some of this comes down to. I think a lot of people are just fucking cool. They're just so fucking cool, man. Wow, like you're so cool. Like I with the most sarcasm possible, like they're just so cool. And I've never been cool. I don't want to be cool. I want to be the kid in the front of the class with my pen ready. Like, all right, what notes are we taking today? What are we going to learn today? Your mind, you can program your mind to absorb information and retain that information better than other people. But if you're constantly distracted with all this other stuff, you're not programming your brain. You don't have a healthy mental state. That's the biggest thing. And why do I think, Atomic Habits, 12 Rules for Life, the 4 Agreements, reading, absorbing, learning, that's the lesson I want you to learn from me. And I think it's very generic to say, yeah, go read a book or something. But really, guys, like that's what it is. There are people that just go through life and they don't really work hard on anything. And when you look back and you reflect on, your life so far, a lot of you are probably like, man, I wish I did better in school, or man, I wish I focused on this more. I focused on that more. And a lot of people that are stuck in that 9 to 5, some people that get into crypto because they're stuck in this 9 to 5, you probably got yourself there, and for you to get yourself out of there, you're going to have to face what you've avoided your whole life. You're going to have to really get over whatever it is in here that's really messing you up and stopping you from succeeding. People are scared to succeed. People are scared to step out of line. And I had to, you know what I mean? It wasn't easy, guys, and I think that's a really significant part of my story that I think no one understands. And I think that's okay. As long as I'm here, as long as I show up every day, as long as I make my content, that's what we're going to do here. Move back to Maryland, man. I'd love to move back to Maryland, but I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to move back to Maryland. Miss it. Miss my friends, But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Sorry for the overdrawn, blah, but you were owed an explanation. And hey man, life's a revolving door. People come and go. It's up to you if you're going to, burn your bridges and flip everyone off on the way out the door, or if you're going to just be respectful and treat people with respect. You gotta give respect to get respect. And stick to your, be your own man. Walk around with your chest out. Be proud of the decisions you make, and don't be scared to succeed. Fuck them. All right. At the end of the day, really though, you're either going to get rich or get wrecked. I'll see y'all tomorrow.